guys, welcome back to the channel, and for this one I want to show you guys a World Boss solo using the Punisher in his newest uniform. Now guys, let me just go ahead and say this: if you have the Punisher and you like using him, you should definitely go ahead and get this uniform, even though aesthetically it's not really the greatest thing to look at, but it does make him significantly better. Like with this uniform, he has two skills that gives him the survivability that he so desperately needed. Like from none of his other uniforms can compare to this one. And his original kit is really bad. Now for Punisher guys, my Punisher is not really set up all that great. Everything about him is just basic. This obelisk right here, I was hoping to get a higher percentage for the ignore defense. However, I got increased damage, so I went ahead with that. And the web immunity is not all that terrible since he's a combat character and he's designed to go up against all the speed characters, which includes the majority of the web slingers in the game. So first skills guys, I only have the 5 skill and the 3 skill maxed out, and that is because with this uniform they are the most important. The other skills, like the 4 skill right here, has a really long wind up, so I don't use it at all, even though it does decent damage. The 3 skill is actually really good, and they even made it a little bit better. What makes the skill great is that whenever you use it, it adds a little bit of movement to the skill, so you can use it to get out of the way of incoming attack, and then you'll go right into an iframe. So it's really good in that regard, and it lasts for a couple seconds, which you can use to chain into your other skill right here, which is the 5 skill, the smoke operation, which this skill right here is really good. It does respectable damage. However, in my time playing the Punisher with this uniform, I've noticed one thing that makes this skill really bad, and that is this skill can be interrupted while you're in the middle of it. Whereas like once you throw out that smoke grenade and then you start attacking with this guy, which you'll see later on once I take him into the world boss mode, enemies will sometimes flee from the smoke, and when they do that, their skill will completely cancel out, and then he will just be standing there waiting to get attacked. So that's really bad because this skill right here is a full iframe and it lasts for about 3 or 4 seconds. So you can use that to stall for time so that this skill can come off cooldown, and then you can kind of chain them back to back so that you don't need to use the other skills. And if you have max skill cooldown, for the most part there's only going to be like a 1.5 second gap where you can take damage. Whereas if this skill gets cancelled out, which it will get cancelled in a few situations, especially in world boss mode, if you're attacking the world boss and they just feel like being a dick and they just move out of the smoke and get too far away from you, the skill will just cancel out. So what you want to do when you use this skill is you want to try and keep the enemy as close to a wall as possible, so that if they flee from the smoke, they're not so far out of the range of the attack, so that you can still attack them. Because even if they're outside of the smoke, as long as they're within a certain radius, they will still take damage and you won't stop attacking. So without making this one super long guys, I'm just going to take this guy into the world boss mode, and his ISO set is nothing special. However, I would recommend going with Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive, because as you guys can see right here, on his foot gear he has skill cooldown which is native to him, right? So you don't want to go with Hawk's Eye, because then you're going to have way more skill cooldown than you need. Because as you guys can see, look at my cooldown duration guys, that's 50%. Like this is 50%, not including the bonus from the Alliance. So that's huge, and there's nothing I can really do to reduce it, because as you guys can see, I'm running Power of Angry Hulk, so I'm not getting any skill cooldown from there. There's no skill cooldown on my gears, and I know my cards give 33%. So yeah, that's why I'm telling you guys not to go with Hawk's Eye, because once your cards get good enough, you're not going to need it, and you're going to have a lot of wasted percentages, which I do, but there's actually nothing I can do to correct it at the moment. So I'm just using this team because they have a lot of team ups. Not you. There we go. And we're not going to use any strikers. And there you have it, guys. Punisher just pulled off a pretty decent solo, even though I messed up his rotation a little bit in this one. And that to me, guys, makes him a viable character in this uniform, especially for stuff like Shadowlands. So if you like the Punisher and you plan to use him, I highly recommend getting this uniform, because without it, guys, I don't think I could pull off this solo, although I know other people may be able to do so. And that's all I have for this one, guys. Like always, thanks for watching. I appreciate all you guys. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.